What's up, guys? This is Chris. I want to welcome you to the first ever Meatology BBQ shorts. No, that's not what you're thinking. You don't want to wear this on a hot summer day at the beach. It's going to get slimy, stinky, swampy, slippery, whatever other S adjective you can think of to describe an all-around bad situation for yourself and for the loved ones around you. What we're going to show you today is how to prepare a pork butt Meatology style. So if you look at your pork butts, most always going to have this fat cap on top. And I've cooked it with the fat cap on, and when you get done, you just have this fatty, slippery, gross mess in your pulled pork when you get done. So I've found that I prefer to take the fat off to start with. Another reason why you might want to cut all the fat off is something I never thought of until I was watching another YouTube video from All Things Barbecue. And he made a good point. You put all of that seasoning on the fat, and when you get done cooking it, for me, I just scrape the fat off, and there went all of that seasoning and all that good smoky bark just collected in the fat, and it wasn't getting to the meat. So that's a good reason to cut the fat off in my mind. Another reason, if you were to cut this thing in half, you would see there's plenty of fat already inside this thing so that it would stay nice and juicy as you cook it. Some might even say it stays nice and moist. Like I said, you can spend a lot of time getting every bit of fat off, or if you're not so concerned about it, you can do like we have here, and you got a pretty good job of getting all the fat off. Probably want to make sure that you look it over real good, make sure that there's no other big chunks like this guy right here. Maybe I want to cut this off. Make sure there's no bones or anything sticking in it. Things that you don't want to eat, you want to make sure that you get rid of it. Now comes another thing I never thought of until I was watching another All Things Barbecue video. I really like those guys. Like, I got a man crush maybe, but it's okay. They're good. When I was making my first pork butt, I was pulling the pork, and I got some of it, and there's like this big stringy looking thing inside of all the meat. And it was gross. I didn't want to eat it. I was watching one of those All Things Barbecue videos, and I saw him do this. If you look at the opposite side of the meat from the fat cap, and you can see if I start pulling on this, see how the two parts want to start separating? Like, you could almost just pull this apart with your fingers if you just pulled it hard enough. This stuff, whatever this is, this membrane, this fat, this connective tissue, all of this stuff is what I was talking about that I didn't want to eat. So we're going to take this out. Just be careful not to poke yourself with a sharp knife. As you pull this apart, as I just score, see how those two pieces just start pulling away from each other? As you get closer to the bottom, you'll see right here is the bone. So when you get that, you can just run your knife along the bone, and these two pieces of meat will just separate and pull apart real nice like. Another great benefit of doing this is when you get done, look at all this extra meat that you got exposed you can put your rub on. Now when you get to this part of it, you can see you get a lot of this silver skin. That stuff's gonna be tough and nasty. So you wanna do the best you can to make sure you get all that stuff. So we're just gonna slide our knife underneath there and just trying to stay as close to that membrane as we can. Cut it off. All right, so like I said, if you look at this thing, it's not perfect. Still got a little bit that we could probably clean up, but I'm not trying to win any awards for having the leanest pork butt because it's just not my goal right now. So next step is to inject this bad boy. And I'll give you the official Meatology secret pork butt injection recipe secret sauce. Here it is. It's equal parts apple cider vinegar and water, a little bit of hot sauce, and to top it off, I don't know if I can say this or not, Coca-Cola. That's it. All that right here. But you want a good injection needle. Don't worry, I got a permit for this thing. You can put as much or as little as you want. Just make sure you space it out so that you get your whole pork butt nice and coated. Go ahead and poke around, give yourself a good hole, kind of get a little pocket in there so you can get the injection in it. It's a good idea to cover the area with your hand because it's gonna squirt out. It's just gonna happen. Nothing you can do to combat that. So just cover it up. All right, now that we got the pork butt injected, it's time to use the rubs. I'm gonna put 2 different types of rubs on it. First thing I'm gonna put on is another Meat Church product called Honey Hog Hot Barbecue. And then once we get a layer of this on there, I'm gonna finish it off with this one called Holy Cow. Holy Cow. It's got a lot of pepper. It's gonna be a good combination between the sweetish taste of the first one, peppery taste of this one. It's gonna be a good marriage in your mouth. So, gonna get a good covering. Make sure it coats nice and well. Now let's switch it over to the second one, the peppery one. Same thing. Open this thing up, get it inside there. Now we're gonna flip this bad boy over. Hit our other side. Last step, put it on the smoker. Usually we're gonna cook it at about 250. Let it go for about 5 or 6 hours till we get a nice bark on the outside. Let that smoke get into the meat. And after about 5 hours, you can wrap it in aluminum foil to let it finish off till you get that nice soft pulled pork texture. Usually it's gonna take about another 2 hours. And the temperature is gonna be somewhere around 205 degrees, but you really wanna make sure that when you poke it with your thermometer or whatever you got, that it feels nice and soft. So, you're welcome for your very first Meatology barbecue short. Don't wear it, eat it.